The risotto was really nice, and I just made enough. That's quite good for me because sometimes it's difficult to measure out how much rice you need, and I didn't look at the measurements on a recipe I looked at just to check the ingredients. So I measured out just enough. So it was plenty, not too much, which is a good thing. So that was good. And then waited for Mark to go to Mark and waited for all my energy to come together, having eaten, to make my phone call to Air Canada. I'm sure I spoke about this when I was doing the other video. So I made my phone call and waited 52 minutes to be answered. And when I got the answer, she said to me, "You've come through to the wrong department." I thought, oh God. So she said she could transfer me. So she transferred me, and I thought, I can't sit here for another 52 minutes. I was playing Scrabble or playing my game, to sort of occupy myself, and I had to keep the page updated that I was on because that keeps dropping out. I thought, I can't do this. I need to go and do the job that I was going to do in the bathroom. I took the phone with me and my debit card and my bit of paper and my pen, and went up and started on the bathroom. Didn't get much done, and then 20 minutes, I was answered after about 20 minutes. The agent that answered me was in Canada, and she sounded quite sick, coughing, sniffing, clearing her throat. And I said to her a couple of times, "You sound like you ought to be in bed." So we very slowly crawled through the booking, and I'm not sure if it was slow because she wasn't well or whether it was slow. I mean, I could have done it quicker in front of a computer screen. I'm not really sure why it was slow, but maybe it's slower for her end. Very slowly worked all the way through that, and it took about her doing this all the time. It wasn't in my ear because I had speakerphone on, but we got to the payment bit after about 20 minutes of sorting through and going back because she'd done it in dollars, not euros. Got to the payment bit and my card didn't go through. I was like, oh God. And she inputted it again and it didn't go through. And by that point, I'd had enough. I was on the phone for hours last night waiting for an answer and didn't get anywhere. And tried several times to do it myself online, not getting anywhere. And I just felt so defeated, having had a good start to the day, sort of completing the filing and, feeling like I'm getting organised, and really frustrated not to be able to do this. Just this simple thing, I want to give you money, but you won't take it. What I did do before we finished was I asked for her number so that I can make sure that I have the number to call when I won't do this till tomorrow, when I sort out how I'm going to do this. I mean, it might be that it's a debit because it's a debit card, but I checked that. I did check, and it shows debit cards. So it's a Visa debit card, and they say it shows Visa debit cards. So it could be that there's a limit on my card that I've exceeded, and so I've emailed my bank counselor to see if that's what's wrong. I'm asking her, but she's off tomorrow. She doesn't work Wednesday, so and there's plenty of time. I know there's plenty of time, but I don't deal with things like that. I like to know that everything is in place, and this needs to be in place. I need to. It's quite important, really, that we get there. I was sitting talking to Mark this morning, before we got on with the rest of our day, and I was sitting talking to him about, because I was up at 6 and he wasn't up till about 9, and talking to him about I took an extra prednisolone, so I'm feeling, I've got more energy to do the things I do, and I'm getting some control, and I talked to him about, my working life and my life here with us as a couple. It's always been the organizer and the logistics and everything, and I think when I've not been well, that's one of the most frustrating things for me, is that stuff like that's got on top of me. And so talking to him about all the things I'm doing, and not really appreciating what I'm doing. It's like I wonder why I'm tired, and thinking, well, we've not really done anything. We've not going anywhere, but I know that I'm juggling several balls, dealing with tradesmen and dealing with this Canada project. And I think, Mad, you said to me, I think it might have been you. No, it wasn't. It was I can't look back now. It was Scotch, somebody said to me, that you're juggling a lot. I think you both said to me you're juggling a lot. And yeah, I am. And but it's what I do, and so I don't expect it to be so trying. But as I was sitting talking to him, I could see him falling asleep. It's just wears him out just thinking about it. He's complete opposite to me, which is why I am the organizer and logistics, because Mark isn't, and he just looks exhausted when I'm talking about it. So that was quite funny. So yeah, frustrating. So I went up and I came away from that phone call feeling incredibly frustrated, despondent, defeated, and that's not me. And Mark wasn't here. I wanted a good cry, and he wasn't here. Couldn't have a good cry and a cuddle because he wasn't here. So went off and finished the bathroom, because I have that energy, today, because of the extra tablet. I've got physical energy, and I thought, well, that's a good thing to do. So I went up and did what I wanted to do, which was put paper in the drawers before reloading the drawers, and I've done it. God knows why we've got so many drawers. I must have had a good clear out when we emptied them, because one of the drawers is practically empty. But it's all done, really, now. So I'm pleased about that. Really pleased about the giveaway. And the nice thing is I think, I don't know, because I've not had, obviously I won't have had an email when I'm making this. I'm making this in the early evening of the same day. Isabeau hasn't contacted. I haven't seen it. She doesn't know she's won yet, but she did talk about in her comment about the portrait of the man, which was I don't think it was a Modigliani. I think it was someone else. Can't remember now. And the face doesn't quite match what I was copying, but I liked it. I thought he looked nice. But the good thing about that, it's on cardboard, so it's really not going to cost anything to post, and I'm going to be posting it to France, so it's a bit of a win-win. So I'm quite pleased about that. Someone on Tattle was talking about their sensitivity to clothing and various other things. That they have to have the tags of their clothing removed, and cuffs turned back, socks turned inside out, various other things. And it reminded me, because I had the same thing, and it's not uncommon, and it's known colloquially as the Princess and the Pea Syndrome. And he has always referred to me as Princess and the Pea, because if I get into bed and there's the smallest problem in the bed, I feel it. I just feel everything. I think my skin and it is over sensitive to stimulus. So there's a syndrome called Princess and the Pea, which I'll put a link in here in the description. And it could be that you're highly sensitive to others' needs, that you cry easily. That's me. That you have a lot of empathy. That's me. You're bothered by loud or irritating noises in the way that others do. A loud noise here and I jump, and it makes me cry, and if I'm not expecting it, quite frequently now Mark will warn me if he's going to make a noise, because it really makes me jump and upsets me. Loud noise. Most evenings now he has headphones on when he's watching TV, because I just can't be doing with the noise. There's something quite specific. That's it. Alanis Morissette, who has, it's called highly sensitive person, HSP, has HSP, and she talks about that in a documentary. And she said, my temperament is highly sensitive. I'm very attuned to very subtle things, whether it's food or minerals or lighting or sounds or smells. well, that, you know, that describes a lot of what I experience, and being overstimulated by, overwhelmed by emotions, overstimulated by light, sound, temperature, even scratchy fabric. And I know that my daughter has not actually specified this, but I know some of this will fit for her. She doesn't like to be in. We neither of us like to be in crowds of people, and of course, over here, you know, for events like marriages, birthdays, Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, is often a big family gathering, um, in big salle de fêtes normally, which are really echoey, and it is excruciating to be in them with this noise and all these people talking. It's completely overwhelming, and I don't do any of that now. I did when we first came, but because you know, you want to integrate, you want to be part of the community, but I just couldn't. I mean, I have a problem with my hearing anyway. I just couldn't cope. I could not cope with the multiple voices and the noise levels. I don't like. I have a problem with smell, lighting. Also, sometimes if we're in the car, I'll put my sunglasses on and it's not even sunny, but it just feels, some days it's like it's just too much. So yeah, I thought I'd mention it for the person on Tattle, who mentions it. But yeah, it is well known, or sort of known as Princess and the Pea Syndrome, and worth looking up. But worth looking up. You don't want to look up that. I mean, I'm going to put a link here, but it is also known as HSP, highly sensitive person. I mean, I can remember years, you know, when I was a kid, being told that I was too sensitive by my mother. And what I learned, you know, when I was doing my therapy training and having therapy, is that, well, it's not that I'm too sensitive, it's that I'm sensitive. You know, so it isn't, because I think what happens is you think it's something about you that's wrong. You think that you're getting it wrong, and it isn't. It's just how you are, and you know, it's difficult. And I often say to Mark, I know I'm a difficult woman. He goes along with it. So there we are. You'll get this in the morning. It's just before 6 o'clock in the evening here on Tuesday, and you'll get this on Wednesday morning. And by Wednesday morning, hopefully, I'll have worked out what the fuck I'm going to do and how I'm going to pay for these plane tickets. It's or it might not be till Thursday, because I might need to wait for Rachel to get back to me. Anyway, there you go. Congratulations, félicitations, Isabeau. And I hope that you've contacted me by now and that I am able to sort out your winning painting and send it to you. Okay, bye.